Welcome, race fans, and welcome back to Simulated Virtual Racing. This is Webbo here for the RedBull Ring round of the S2 division here in the Gran Turismo Red Bull Junior car. We're ready to go racing. Hopefully you're ready to get underway with us as well. And let's just talk you through the current standings after the German race at the Nürburgring. We find Nasty on top on 57 points in second place. Bolide Fay has 49 points. We have Liquid Gecko on 39 in third place, and then another plus 10 points back is Senor Dude on 27. Milo has 22. Berent Bodgy has 21, joint position with Biggerwood and Scavvy and Nintendo. Then we have Sol on 18 points, Drupert on 6, Pero Loco on 5 points, Yank the Tank on 2, and Oliver has 1 point. Greetings to everybody joining us live. If you want to shout out, do speak up, as Scavvy has, and so has AJ. I am trying my voice. It's been a long time since I've been able to commentate. I've just had a throat lozenge. Hopefully we'll get through this okay without too much coughing, and I'll try and be quick on the mute button if I can. At the back of the grid for this round, we have Oliver in 10th position driving the Kimi's livery. Then we have Wilson Core in 9th position. In 8th, we have Drupert in the new Mega team, followed by Biggerwood for Burkestein Transport Service in 7th position. We have Nintendo for the awesome liveried Tamiya Racing Factory team. Then we have Senor Dude Racing for Darkside Racing. We have the lead driver today in qualifying for Burkestein, Yank the Tank, with Scavvy in 3rd position leading his Dark. We have the Azul Racing team representative and championship leader Nasty, with Bolide Fay for Mega on top in qualifying. Hopefully, folks, you're going to be ready for a race. I certainly am, and I think thanks to Scavvy, I hope you're saying swift recovery, wishing me a swift recovery rather than remarking that my recovery has been swift, because it certainly has not been at this stage. Okay, ready to race, ready to go racing. Let's go for half an hour with aggressive fuel use, aggressive tyre use. We'll be ready for our Red Bull Junior team, our second division, to get underway. The 5 lights are building. It's time to go racing here at the Red Bull Ring. Here for simulated virtual reality. Looks like a little jump start perhaps there for Scavvy, and it looks like a very slow away as a result. Bolide Fay though away, but we've got an accident at the back. It's Wilson Core hitting the wall, but Bolide Fay away beautifully with Nasty, and then Scavvy has managed to recover to the position and get into 3rd position. We've got Senor Dude all the way alongside as well, and the 2 Darkside Racing teammates who didn't exactly play perfectly nicely together before in the previous round are doing exactly the same thing again. Senor Dude ahead into 3rd position with Yank the Tank down into 5th place. Looks like Drupert at the back there with Wilson Court and Oliver up to 8th. Nintendo dropping to 9th, perhaps getting caught up with Biggerwood, and I think it's probably pertinent to have a little look back at the start from the perspective of Biggerwood. Let's join him from the chase cam here in 7th position, waiting to get underway. Lights go out, little hop forward, and then just crashing straight into the slow away Darkside Racing team, and then struggling away as a result. We've got Nintendo here in 2nd position. Looks like the start didn't go particularly well for him, but nothing too dramatic at the very early part of this race for him. And we'll just run then down through the order as the rest of the drivers were just challenging each other. Looks like Drupert right in the mix here in P6, with Wilson Court down the inside trying to find a way through, but back up towards the lead of the race. And it's Nasty versus Bolide Fay, as it was in the Nürburgring, and these two put on a great show for us here. Let's get you a proper view of everything, because we should have display all selected. Okay, Nasty fully alongside now, going through turn 4 and into turn 5, looking for that inside line in towards turn 6. Looks like Nasty's going to get the nod ahead here, get the tail just tucked ahead, and it looks like then Bolide Fay having to just No, he's took the lead and then he gave it straight back again. Unfortunately, just couldn't get the balance on those new soft tyres perfectly into turn 7 and keep that lead. But he held it for just the merest moment. But it looks like Scavy right on the tail now after that atrocious start. He should count himself very lucky to be in 3rd position overall. And Scavy was tuning in just to see that, I think, and getting a little bit of PTSD. Drupert picking up a penalty coming through turns 9 and 10. He'll have to pay for that in a few corners' time. But Oliver in P7 looks like Yank the Tank is just getting ahead here for the Buckstein Transport Service, car, and going through turn 1 beautifully for Yank the Tank. So up into P6 for the new and nicely liveried Buckstein car, but not the newest of teams. We have Team Mega and of course Kimmy's nursery sponsoring the cars as well. So P5 for Yank the Tank with Senor Dude deposed now. That's another manoeuvre nicely up for Yank the Tank, and now he's challenging Drupert. He's alongside Drupert, and Yank is doing a great job here, picking up positions very nicely indeed on the medium tyres as well. He's fully alongside Drupert. He's got the inside line into turn 4 and completing the move very nice and smoothly from Yank the Tank. So it's slow away from the start, but catching now after a good qualifying position, should have the pace, and looking for a sweep around the outside and completing the move goes Yank the Tank. Drupert applying a little bit of defence work going through the double left of turns 6 and 7 before going into turn 8. The Mega car and the Darkside Racing cars looking very similar on the track here, and fully then challenging its Nintendo on Drupert. Drupert was really slow through the corner, but with a nice cutback. Looks like Nintendo now having to play defensive on the outside of turn 9 and through turn 10. Looks like Drupert then on board with him, as he should get a good slingshot, but he's actually slow away. He's got some attention from Oliver coming up behind as well. Oliver not qualifying too well, only scoring a single point in the championship so far, but how about that one? A little sneaky manoeuvre down the inside, as Drupert was very much stuck there in his position and hoping to try and make that one stick, as Oliver can't quite get through, can't get the overtake done, can't get the slipstream that he needs down into turn 3. Little wiggle of the tail coming out of the corner for Drupert there. And let's go back to the trackside camera down in the back of the order wall and turning almost 90 degrees to the racing line in at the start. Then we've got Wilson Court in 10th position, both cars on the mediums. Biggerwood picking up that damage. You can see the cracked light panel as well on the first part of this race, but it is lap 3 for the two leaders, Bolide Faye and Nasty up there in 1st and 2nd, but joining them is Scavy, and I think Scavy also on the soft tyres. Looks like the soft tyres have really helped the drivers move themselves ahead, but although it's a short lap, the corners can be quite punishing, especially those curbs around this RedBull Ring. So we will expect to see pit stops very soon from those soft runners. Bolide Faye, Nasty and Scavy, your top 3. Yank the Tank comfortably now in 4th position with a fairly good lead here over 5th place Senor Dude, who goes through the camera, through the scene just then. We've got Drupert in 6th, Oliver fighting on in 7th position. Biggerwood a little bit on his own, a little bit out of it here, and getting that first corner all kinds of wrong. The inside right not really performing as well as he would hope through turn 1, but Nintendo a little bit disappointed, I'm sure, to be in 9th at this early stage. We've got Wilson Court down in 10th position, taking the position that Oliver both qualified and finished his previous race. But it really does look promising from Oliver to have picked up some performance here, as the Azul Racing team, who are now leading the overall championship standings and the drivers' standings in Division 1, represented by Nasty here in P2, who's just put in a fastest sector of the racetrack for the entire field. A little bit, we've got a battle forming here. Sorry for the camera work. Those trackside cameras are frankly appalling on on the RedBull Ring here. I'm just getting back used to it again. Here is Senior Dude starting to catch Yank the Tank now, getting settled into a rhythm on the soft tyre. He's not in a great position. A little bit of damage on the back of the car after being hit, I think, at the early part from the Bergstein Transport Service driver. Scabby saying he let his hand off the handbrake after Gecko's game crashed. Was kind of thrown off my groove. So it's all Gecko's fault, is it? Right, okay. So yeah, that's the thing. Olaf or Oliver is happy enough to be here watching live, and we'll just check out where Oliver is at the moment. Yeah, picking up, holding on to 7th position very nicely indeed, and now managing the phase of tyre wear on those soft tyres. He's obviously, I think he's going to be the rear-most soft tyre runner, but racing without any damage on the car at this time, so he should be in a good position for points later on. Nintendo, I think, is catching Biggerwood now with an advantage in tyre difference. Some damage on the front of the car though as well. Scabby saying Oliver's helmet is pretty cool. Okay, we'll go and have a look at that in a second. Medium tyres on the rearmost driver, P10 Wilson Core. Let's have a look then at Oliver and his helmet. Well, it is kind of a teal colour, close up there. Let's see if we can't get a even closer look. Here we go. That is pretty cool actually. Yeah, we like that. Like a bit of that. And there's of course the Kimmy's Racing Team new livery for our increasingly sponsored teams here. And if you want to sponsor one of our teams in the Simulated Virtual Reality Championship across both divisions, you are more than welcome to. You can sponsor our race replays when we're live as well, if you wish to as well. But here is Oliver in P7 and comfortably at the moment, but not really being challenged right now in front. Senior Dude is down into 4th position. Looks like Yank the Tank might have just stolen a position there, potentially. I just missed a Yank the Tank overtake. I did indeed. Here we go. So is that a genuine overtake? It's not. It looks like it was Scabby off the circuit. Again, let's have a look, Scabby. I know you're watching. And it was just a miscalculation going through the turn 8 and overtaken there very nicely. Jose Luis Cervantes says, why is everyone Canadian? Well, not quite everybody's Canadian, but that's it. Missed the breaking point, said Scabby, unfortunately for him. But down in 5th place now on the soft tyres as they're wearing into the kind of 40% phase. Not getting great tyre wear, like a huge amount of tyre wear so far. 4th position, lap 6 of 19 for Senior Dude at this time, and he has just been gifted a position from a mistake from Scabby, as was Yank the Tank. And that will just excite the drivers a little bit more. Up the front though, Bolidefe and Nasty continue to lead our race as we get closer to the first pit stop here for the drivers, and that was Senior Dude. Oh, unfortunately having a spinala, a proper spinala through the official turn 3. Not the best of rejoins either for the following Drupert. Looks like though, as Oliver makes the overtake, it was smooth enough, but Senior Dude, no, Biggerwood having a little bit of trouble here, as Senior Dude is going to have a really upset handling car. We're on the dirty tyres right now. Just happened to be watching Senior Dude with that little manoeuvre, unfortunately for him. But Biggerwood now with the Pepsi sponsorship, Pepsi being very generous with our league, sponsoring both Bergstein Transport Service and Azul Racing, certainly in the 1st division anyway. Biggerwood just nursing this car right now on the medium tyres. It's really unfortunate for him because he's got to use a different compound, and the medium tyre does not give him a great deal of flexibility in his pit stop window. He needs to repair that damage on the car as well. It's almost certainly hurting his performance here. 134 lap times. I think that is a little bit quicker than some of the cars have gone ahead, and that was Oliver, unfortunately. Let's ride with Oliver and check out what just happened on the car as we run through out of turn 8, just a short shoot down towards turn 9. What happened to Oliver here? Braking on the curve. A little bit quick on the loud pedal. Unfortunately for Oliver, that is a full-on 360. Well held. but it was just accelerating just off the track slightly on the difficult portion of the track. Just one mistake compounding into another. Here we go though, trying to make amends by making no take down the inside. He knows he's got Kimi's Racing Team, new sponsor, watching, but he couldn't quite lean on the front axle enough to steal that apex fully. Nintendo playing that one pretty calm and cool and holding on to his position. Let's see if Oliver can regain that place now as he runs tucked up behind the Tamiya Racing Factory solo entry here. We do need to fill up our Division 2 a little bit, so if you're looking for a ride and you're a PSVR2 driver, then do find a way into the server and get yourself VR verified and ready to race with us, as we are recruiting for drivers again. Though it looks like Oliver struggling with the rear of the car as the soft tyres wear out, and unfortunately looks like one lap too many for him on those soft tyres. Wilson Core holding on to a reasonable gap here and a pace that's not bad at all. He's put in a 1:33.8, a 1:33.9 and a 1:34.4 on the racing medium tyres. Bolide Fay though, let's see if the front runners are going to start having a little problem. In fact, I think we have just had a problem from Nasty. Let's see, where was Nasty and what happened to him? Because he's just lost a lot of time. Is it just compounding issues for Nasty as we run back through? Looks like Bolide Fay just absolutely launching his pace here at the end of the soft tyre stint. Nasty very much on the conservation run as Yank the Tank is down in third position right now. Let's see if either Bolide Fay or Nasty decide to pit. No, indeed they do not at this early stage. Yank the Tank should be hoping for a good result here. Poor start, but good qualifying, good underlying pace in the Bergstein Transport Service car. And a 1:31.6 is a handy time on the medium tyre so far. Scavy, the first driver to blink onto a scheduled pit stop now and into the pits. From fourth position, we'll lose that almost certainly, and plenty more positions. But he feels that the pit stop window is open for him to go through, and so does Senor Dude as well. It looks like the mega car's staying out an additional lap. Going to go through to the end of lap 8 at least, and we've got Nintendo gaining position. So did Oliver. Oliver's still not pitting, and that's pretty brave. Unfortunately, he's picked up a half-second off-throttle penalty between turns 8 and 9 instead of making his pit stop, but maybe not feeling like he can comfortably get that car home on a single change of tyres. Flashing the lights on the way into the corner. I wonder what that's all about. It wasn't super close to Nintendo, but flashing the lights on the way into turn 3, the official turn 3. That little slight left kink halfway down, the 2/3 of the way down the second straight is the official turn 2. And then again, flashing the lights. That is something to do with the controller sometimes, I believe. If you're driving with a controller and you accidentally press the steering stick in, then you will end up pressing the light flashing button. And obviously, if you've got your VR helmet on, you're not necessarily carefully looking at what your fingers are doing. Bolide Fay and Nasty are in the pits. That means Yank the Tank gets to take the lead at the start of lap 9 of our 19-lap race. So pretty happy, I think, here to have a nice clear track in front of him, and he'll be looking behind him for those opportunities to find a big gap to slot back into. Bolide Fay out on the medium tyres with a fresh batch of fuel, just over half a tank of fuel here for him. And Drupert up into third position, didn't quite get Bolide Fay, but has managed to overtake Nasty, who also comes out very similar level of fuel, maybe a slight fraction more fuel than the driver he was fighting with, Bolide Fay, before the pit stop run there for the soft runners. Biggerwood down in 5th, but on nice comfortable tyres at the moment to drive on, so nice and warm tyres. Probably won't have much of an advantage here over Nasty at this point, but half a lap or to 2/3 of a lap to get those medium tyres up to temperature, but he has got a distinct fuel advantage. In fact, I'm worried now that Biggerwood is not going to be able to run at these tyres as long as he needs to. He needs another 2 laps, perhaps, maybe 3, to be comfortable on the soft tyres for the final stint. But has he got that much fuel remaining in the car is a question for me. Perhaps only about 10% fuel remaining on the Bugsteen Transport Service P5 car of Biggerwood right now. Nintendo still hasn't pitted. What is going on with Nintendo? He's trying to run as low as possible on the fuel. He's got damage, so that's going to be hurting his performance. And I wonder, would Nintendo make the same decision again? Are we going to be coming into the pits again? We go through crazy stuff here from Nintendo. I don't understand that one. Scavvy, having pitted out on the medium tyres and in P8 at the moment, has managed to put in the best time of a 31.4, which is a decent delta away from Bolide Fay, but certainly not a bad time by anybody else's measure. Teammate Senor Dude down in 9th position, and frankly, they'll be quite pleased that they're not too close to each other right now, especially from Scavvy's perspective, to see Senor Dude quite far away here in his mirrors. Oliver's down in 10th. He has pitted as well, and now it's time to put in those laps. He's struggling through turn 10 though. Turn 9 or 10, he's certainly having some problems, because that's another half-second penalty on the car. Here is Yank the Tank. His gap, a personal best sector as we run through. We run into the red on the fuel. He might well get one more lap out of these tyres, though, and that would be fairly safe and secure for him. Let's see. If you run the soft tyres at the last stint of the race, you can run the minimal amount of fuel, but he's not feeling too confident about his handling or the amount of fuel left on the car. So in we come, and he did put in a bit of a lightning in lap there to set a personal best 2 sectors before heading into the pit lane. Second is Bolide Fay, former leader, about to become the leader once again, as Nasty running a little bit wide there out of turn 10. And I know that post-race, that for the Division 1 race, several drivers got post-race penalties as a result of abusing track limits, but it does look like it's on properly here, as all of our midfield drivers are in the pits. I don't know if you can count a third position driver as a midfielder. Here comes Scavvy to take some of those places back. Looks like Yank the Tank in the Bugsteen Transport Service car has exited the pits ahead, and yes, indeed he has. So a straight fight now between Scavvy and Yank the Tank for that final position on the podium, as long as there are no unexpected occurrences for our 2 leaders. Coming out of the pits though in a second is going to be Drupert, I think, and Senor Dude just getting through turn 1 in time as Drupert manages to exit the pits out in 6th position. So Scavvy and Senor Dude, despite those difficult starts for both of them, are now in 4th and 5th position. So some good points on offer, but they won't be satisfied with not being on the podium, I think. So pushing hard, I imagine, right now. We've got a nice tight midfield on offer for you here for the final stint of our race, as with a brand new grippy tyres and a fixed car, is certainly going to be hoping to unlock some pace here as soon as possible. Biggerwood in 7th place, Nintendo in 8th place just behind him, as this is going to be very, very interesting. Let's ride on board, shall we, with Nintendo in the beautiful Tamiya Racing Factory car. Frankly, a lot of our liveries are very, very nice here at Simulated Virtual Reality, formerly known as Super Formula, but I still think the TRF car is probably my pick of the bunch, especially when they do those special liveries as well. So looking for some grip into turn 9. Terrible understeer for Nintendo through turn 9. He manages to correct his entry speed for 10 though nicely, and things just improving a little bit. That's a nice little touch there for Nintendo with the team colours on the helmet as well. We love to see that kind of thing. So love to see things being nice and coordinated here from our drivers. So Oliver, 9th position. These 2 drivers on screen at the moment, Nintendo and Biggerwood, the closest drivers on the track right now, as Bolide Fay continues to lead by some 3 to 4 seconds, I would hazard a guess. So in front of Nintendo is Biggerwood. Behind Nintendo is actually looks like catching Oliver and Wilson Core. And in front of them, with a little gap, is Drupert following Senor Dude. So suddenly things have closed in a little bit, just as I was saying the gaps were opening up. So another classic commentary moment there. Here is the Mega Transport car, all new livery, all new team sponsorship and ownership. And nice line through turn 7 for Drupert as our Canadian dominating field continues. We do seem to be attracting a lot of Canadians to the league. That looked like Senor Dude with a senior moment. Sorry, a senior moment, I should say. Let's have another little look at that from him. We go through turn 9, and yeah, just a little bit of overspeed on the exit meant a sort of scramble recovery, unfortunately. But Drupert, that will be music to Drupert's ears if you could hear over the note of the engine, and he puts in a personal best lap there with Bolide Face still with the fastest lap of 1:30.835. That was set early on with the soft tyres on about a medium amount of fuel. So I wonder if we will get anybody able to put in a faster lap than that before the end of the race. A little bit of lawn mowing or track extending there from Drupert on the braking zone on the way into turn 3. And he's certainly getting closer at the moment to Senor Dude, who's just recovered from his last little off-track moment, and hoping to make this one work out nicely and get through turn 9 a little bit more comfortably. Whoa, that was really slow on the entry to the corner of turn 4 for Senor Dude. That caught Drupert out slightly, and if I didn't know better, it would look like a brake test, because it had the net effect of Drupert ending up further away from Senor Dude, because he was just kind of scared off the racing line for a moment, having to take that avoiding action. It does look like Senor Dude on the medium tyres is struggling in comparison here to Drupert. Senor Dude is in that classic situation of starting on a soft tyre going to a medium tyre. Very often you find the drivers struggle to ever recover the speed and grip and rhythm that they had in the first stint, because every step they have taken has taken them further and further away from the better grip. It's the opposite effect for people that start in the mediums. When they come out of the pits on fresh soft tyres, it feels like it's a different car, it's an alive beast. It feels like you're back in qualifying mode again, and that's why I tend to do that whenever I very rarely race. But these guys know their capabilities a lot more than I do. But certainly it looks like Wilson Court and Oliver enjoying a little battle at the moment. Oliver down into 10th position on the mediums. Wilson Court. Oliver will certainly hope Wilson's pace will drop off. But I'm really impressed with how the field has closed up, especially from the previous 2 rounds. This has really helped. The drivers really getting some seat time at the back of the grid. They're still getting plenty of seat time, plenty of practice, and are improving, and certainly going to be hoping, and almost certain here, to avoid being lapped through our 19-lap race. And that has to be plan 1 for our beginner drivers, our rookies in the field. At the top of the order is still Bolide Faye with a monumental gap over Nasty at this stage. So really, it's just Bolide Faye against himself here, and his own ability to focus and manage the car through the rest of the race. Slightly more fuel on board for Nasty. Is that a miscalculation from Bolide, or has he done it perfectly? Only time is going to tell. In 3rd position we have Yank the Tank. Impressive stuff here in 3rd place, and a decent gap ahead of the troublesome starting Scabby, who is certainly going to rue that start for some time, I imagine, but running on through nicely. Back here then, between them Senor Dude, but Drupert is still trying to hold off Biggerwood, and Biggerwood looming large with his white and teal. There's a dive bomb and a half down into turn 3, and he'll have to give send a beer to Drupert, because Drupert managed to avoid contact there. It was a nice move in the end, but boy was that close, and it came from a long way back. Drupert turning in and just finding a bright white Buckstein Transport Service car where he wanted to be and having to then open the steering. So Biggerwood through into 6th place, and nicely done in the end from a long way back. We'll be pleased with that one. And he's in 6th position. Just getting a little excited coming out of turn 5, but no major drama for Buckstein Transport Service driver here in 6th place. Running a little bit wide in between turn 6 and 7. Don't think the stewards will mind that because it is extending the track slightly. The problem comes when you run through turn 9 and 10 over the white line, because it is actually technically faster and is such a high grip off-track position. Looks like he's fairly comfortable at the moment. Biggerwood ahead of Drupert. Looks like he was kind of being held up a little bit. Drupert in the tyre management phase now of these soft tyres. He'll do well to get this car home without any major problems. On those soft tyres, they are degrading at a rapid rate. Nintendo in 8th position on the medium tyres, might be hoping to gain a couple of positions towards the end of the race if he can manage the mediums nicely enough. He's managed to set personal best on the previous lap on medium tyres when he raced earlier on the softs, so this car should continue to get faster towards the end of the race, and that will be his hope at this stage. Drupert on the tail of Biggerwood, who is now catching Senior Dude on the medium tyres, so Biggerwood a little bit more fuel on the car as well, so can afford to run fully rich, just go straight from accelerator to brake into the big stops. No lifting and coasting necessary here for the driver as he runs through into turn 6 and 7, where things got a little bit out of shape last time through, but you had see a driver just giving a little bit more margin than he did before and reaping the rewards on a personal best sector. So it looks like he's hungry for 5th position here, and who would blame him? Put in a good move on Drupert just a few moments ago. So Scavvy in 4th position, I think, is probably too far away from Yank the Tank unless we get some fuel management situation work happening later on. But Biggerwood is in 6th place. That was only 2/10 off his fastest. As we start lap 17 here in the midfield, the leaders, of course, already round into their 17th lap, deep into their 17th lap. Bolide Faye will be certainly hoping to underscore his championship credentials here. He started the race in 2nd position in the championship. This is definitely going to help him catch more. Yank saying B-dubs. You're going to have to explain that one to me, Yank. Sorry. But here is Biggerwood hunting down Senior Dude. Will we have another dive bomb moment? He's going for a wide entry, narrow exit on the power, that fraction of a second earlier than usual coming out of the corner, but there is Senior Dude putting up a good fight and positioning the car on the inside, so no way through. The net effect will be both drivers end up going slower, but Biggerwood has a decent gap behind him. He's picked up a great personal best sector there, following in the slipstream of Senior Dude, so just going to be harrying, pressurising Senior Dude and making a nuisance of himself in the mirrors. Again, looking for that wide entry is Biggerwood, trying to just put Senior Dude on the defensive, powering out of the final corner. That looked marginal on track limits on the way out, but it's probably a little bit too far away to go for a definitive move into turn 1, but he'll be focusing on his exit. Car getting a little bit upset there in the aero balance as we now look for that slipstream. Senior Dude just taking the straight line down the long straight here down into turn 2, and there is your overtake from Biggerwood. Made a meal of the apex, did Biggerwood, and they collide and touch several times. In fact, I think both drivers struggling coming through the corner, but let's watch that from outboard, shall we, and just take another view, because it looked like Biggerwood had the apex and the exit. There was a nice braking position, but he just got too much apex, slowed the car at the apex, and then I think both drivers trying to stamp on the loud pedal. No malice involved in that manoeuvre, but the net effect meant that Senior Dude held on to the lead. I think Biggerwood, in the heat of the moment, might be feeling a little bit aggrieved at that treatment, but not much you can do about it other than live to fight another day, and you'll be grateful for that. The final lap has begun from Bolide-Fay, and he heads down towards turn 3 now. But I want to see, is Biggerwood and Senior Dude, are they going to have another little go at each other? I think they probably will try. We're almost done with our race as Bolide-Fay has started his final lap. Now has Nasty and Yank the Tank as well in that 3rd position. So here comes Bolide, still looking for the opportunity to see an overtake potentially from Senior Dude and from Biggerwood. Between the two of them, nice run out of the final corner for Biggerwood, and finishing out this race shortly is going to be Bolide-Fay. I don't want to miss Biggerwood's attempts here, but he's lost ground actually, struggling on the soft tyres now to Senior Dude, looking for that opportunity to make the pass, but it's not happening right now. Here is Bolide-Fay. He's got a couple of corners left to go. As Jose Cervantes says, are we watching Monza S2 next? Not tonight. I need to treat my voice very carefully, but I'll let you know when we're next on. It's Bolide-Fay out of the final corner. A fantastic performance for Mega Racing Team as Bolide-Fay completes the win in the Red Bull Ring. Nasty is going to come through and take 2nd position. Yank the Tank is a little bit further back. Let's see if Biggerwood is going to be able to make a move. Not quite. I hope Yank is not about to try spoilers on me here. Here he comes then out of the final corner to take 3rd position and the final step of the podium. I think pretty happy with his day's work there, Yank. From the penultimate position in the championship onto the podium was great work. Scavvy, good recovery into 4th position. Senior Dude is going to hold on here, is he? Biggerwood is going to hope for a fluffed final corner from Senior Dude. I don't think it's coming. Senior Dude positions P5. Great work from him. And Biggerwood in that 6th place. Behind them, very close in the end, was Drupert and Nintendo for the Tamiya Racing Factory car. Then comes Wilson, and we're going to have Oliver at the tail, but a good performance from our drivers overall. That really was a very good race. Not as many incidents as we saw in the Nürburgring Grand Prix circuit, but it's certainly a very well run race from throughout the field. Wilson finishing their 9th and Oliver at the tail of the field in 10th. Well, thanks everybody for watching. I'm going to have a slow reintroduction to my voice after a long illness here, but thankfully I managed to get through it without too much spluttering and coughing. Really appreciate all of you who showed up live. The legends who leave a like on the video are very much appreciated. Make sure you've subscribed as well, because I'm not entirely sure when I'm next going to be live, but when I am, you'll get that notification. Thanks everybody.